guys, congratulations. I'm so glad you made it. We are here at the Bren Harris podcast. Can you believe this? Episode 151. Imagine, if you will, moving 6,000 miles away to a tiny little tropical island in southern Japan, about 1,000 miles south of Tokyo, and finding friends that become family. Everyone's either getting in super shape or they're having babies. And we have discovered that we all have mutual friends. And I want you to come along for the ride. I will not steal our guest thunder, but please let us know in the comments where you're chiming in from. If you threw a dart right at the US, I'm in the middle in Oklahoma. And our weather is crazy. And we have Seattle and Atlanta in the house. We also have New York City. Great to see you guys. And I know you are called for such a time as this. Now, please know that I don't have all the answers. But for those of you who may not know me, I founded Warrior Moms by Bren. That is now the Warrior Nation. And we are in 6 different countries, over 20,000 strong. And I had no clue that when I prayed, Lord, I want to be healthy for no reason and learn sign language, God brought me a child that was unfortunately medically injured at 22 months of age. And those 15 plus years, let me be straight with you. We walk through hell. Now we walk out of there like we own the place and take water back to those still in the fire. Do we have all the answers? No, we're not called to have all the answers, just enough light for the step we're on. And we walk in purpose and champion our calling. Hear me, warriors, you are not alone. Now I'm going to take you in the Wayback Machine. When we PCS, that's what the military calls it. We moved from Japan, where my son was born, and we stayed with an older relative. And this kitchen has not been updated since the 70s. And this is how Warrior Mom started. I have baby Zach on my shoulder, my little English pottery, cup of coffee, and my MacBook. And let me tell you what, I remember that like it was last month. This has been almost 17 years ago. And moms were being disrespected online. Now, that little tropical island in Japan taught me so much about community. And it was so natural for women to nurse in public. Nobody required a cover. It was just part of a community, how people supported and respected new moms. We come back to the States and that's not the case. Something rose up in me in that moment when you saw that picture. And I'm like, I can't be silent. I can't be silent. And that was the beginning of what was Warrior Moms by Bren and became the Warrior Nation. Our mission is to take water back to those still in the fire, neurotypical or special needs children. And we know we're called for such a time as this. Think Queen Esther going in to visit the king. She risked her life. Now, guys, if you've been around me for more than 5 minutes, when I was a little kid and I heard that story, I didn't even know what a spa was. I was probably 5 or 6. And I'm like, wait, she got to go to the spa for a year? I think I went in on that. I had no clue what it meant. But we are called for such a time as this. Hey, guys, great to see you. If you're just joining us, let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from. Oh, good to see you. We have Washington, D.C. in the house. Tony the Voice Smith. We also, great to see you. We have Georgia and we have South Carolina. Our guest tonight is from the state of Washington, and she is the warrior mom, just like me. And I am so blown away by everything she's doing, and I do not want to steal her thunder. So real quick, we're catching up. This is just a few months ago, one of our out-of-state medical trips. This is my son with the big ear defenders. He is over 6'1" now, so he towers over me. And I want you to know, we talk about this in our Warrior Nation course. We are here to equip our children and to give them the skills so that they don't have to work for anyone else. We take care of our business and the business takes care of us. And we are going through this. It's a 10-week course where we are saying, hey, let's go look at properties. And that's what my son and I did today. We looked at properties. We talked about return on investment. Is this a good area? Is this a good investment property. Just because he's diagnosed on the autism spectrum level 3 nonverbal does not mean he's non-hearing or non-understanding. This kid, if we go to major cities often, and if I miss one turn, he knows. And I'm going, I have to stare at my GPS to know where I am to get to where I'm going. And I love that we can come together and we can say, hey, together we really are stronger, and that my strengths aren't necessarily another person's strengths. Oh, one of Zach's teachers is on here. Thank you so much. Hey, Texas in the house, Michigan in the house. Great to see you guys. Miss Amanda is one of my son's favorite teachers. She says, Zach is amazing and has the best mama. Bless you, bless you, bless you. And I was just sharing, you guys, God just keeps bringing amazing people to Team Zach so that we can be prepared and give back. Here at the Warrior Nation and the Warrior Mom, we are all about communication and connection, community, and then contribution, giving back so that we can champion our purpose and walk out our calling. Now, thank you guys. I do have a book out. I know there's a ton of sales going on. I'm just letting you know it's still there, and I will share the link later. Thank you guys. You guys showed up in force. This is the best-selling author picture that you chose. And just so you know, we have the major and the musician. This is set on that beautiful island in southern Japan. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that with our amazing guest. And that hit top 5 out of 230 entries. Sorry, 230,000 entries. And then number 1, the Warrior Mom Journal, Volume 1. Now, this is not a journal where you say, oh, I wore my favorite sweater and the weather was balmy and 75. No, this is where, think of that one thing you always said you would do, and then life started lifing. We get married, we have children, we have a mortgage, we have a job, just over broke, and we do not have time to build our dreams. This is where we unpack that. And I want you to know, even if you are not a writer, this is where we get the white noise out of our head and the idea pen to paper. And we talk about this in our course, because this is not just, oh, look at me, best-selling author. This is your roadmap. And I want you to know this time next year, your book can be done. And that is the truth. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Now, we're going to fast forward. I love getting to reconnect with people. I am nowhere near the same person I was when I lived on island, but writing the major and the musician, as well as the Warrior Mom Journal, really unlocked my heart and my love for the island. And tonight we have such a special guest. Yes, if you guys are just joining us, please let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from. And our guest tonight is so amazing. If you'll stand by. Hey, Miss Shanessey, did you make the live?
I'm here.
Yay! I'm so glad you're here. I tried really hard not to steal your thunder. Can you tell us a little bit about who is Shanessey Owens?
No worries. So I am a mom of 4 kiddos, 17, 15, 13, and 10 and a half. Had to figure that out. I've been married to my amazing husband for 24 years. We spent 20 years in the military, with Okinawa being our first base. We were there for 6 years, traveled the world, did a lot of things, met a lot of people, made a lot of family, and retired here in Spokane, Washington about 3 years ago now, I think, a little over 3 years ago. And starting life again with a new chapter. And I have been advanced director with Pampered Chef for 14 years, almost 15. I wanted to stay home with my kids because I was a teacher before that, and needed something to be flexible to allow me to stay home with them and homeschool. And so I kind of do that. And full-time taxi driver too. I'll be honest. I'm a full-time taxi driver. That's my real calling in life, apparently.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Now, just from the outside looking in, I'm like, how does she do all of that? And I know you have an amazing memory in my journey. And we were both expecting at the same time on island. And Shanessey was a real light in a very uncertain time for me. And I love that that you really went from the full-time brick and mortar job to being an entrepreneur. What led you there?
So I went back to teaching after I had Shanessey and did that for a year. And I was pregnant with Elias, my son. And I just, it was hard leaving her and dealing with, I was a high school teacher, so dealing with behavior problems of high schoolers and teenagers and all that stuff. And I just wanted to stay home, and I needed something that would allow me to be home, and that was flexible because Aaron was deploying all the time during that time. So I needed something that I could work around my kids, work around his deployments, and kind of get me out of the house for a couple hours just for sanity. So I wasn't just around toddlers.
Okay, I don't know if you guys caught that, Warriors. Her husband was deployed all the time, and she had how many children under the age of 3?
I had 3 children. Wow. 2 children under the age of 3 when I started it, and then I had my third the next year.
That's amazing. Amazing. And you're so successful. What do you attribute that success to?
Honestly, to the Lord. Without his strength, I could do nothing. And that is a true testament because he gives me the strength to do everything. I don't do everything, but anything I do, he gives me the strength to do. And just focus. And always been a very goal-oriented person. And I am probably my own worst competitor. So I'm always to like beat myself and like, okay, I did this. Can I do this?
I love that. That is so amazing. Now, I'm going to take it in the Wayback Machine. Can I talk about the tide thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So we're both expecting at the same time on this tropical island. We both delivered in the month of July on a tropical island. It was high humidity, really hot. And we were doing that awful sugar test. What do you call it?
The glucose test.
Glucose test. And she's like, it's no big deal. I've been through this before. Just do it. Sooner we get it over with. And then one of us spilled something on the little attorney tops we had on, and she whips out the Tide to Go pin. To this day, all these years later, she looked at me way back then and said, you got to carry this in your purse at all times. I still do to this day. And I'm like, you have no idea what an influence you were on my journey as a mom, because we're always spilling stuff still to this day.
And now my daughter carries one in her car.
And your daughter carries one. I love it. And she's a senior this year.
She's a senior this year. I seriously almost want to cry every time I say that. Like, it's not real, but it's real. We're just trying to get through it. It's first one I'm launching out, and she's very independent and she's ready to go off to college far away. And I'm ready to like hug her close and say, you can't leave me, because she's my only daughter and I have 3 boys and I got to get through that. So
you're going to really be outnumbered once you get to college.
For sure.
Well, let's transition just a little bit. Are you okay if I show your cover photo? This is a picture of their family. It's so ingenious. I love this. A little silhouette. There's the crew. And you can see 2 girls to 4 guys. And now when she goes to college, you might need to adopt a little female puppy.
We have another girl at church that's her girlfriend, and she's 2 years younger, and she just calls herself my daughter. She's like, I can be your surrogate daughter. I'm like, yes, you are. Yes. I love you. And Shanessey's always like, is she my replacement? I'm like, you say you're leaving me, so I got to get one.
I love it. Now, guys, I want you to know Shanessey is the real deal. And if you're getting value, please put value in the comments. And if you are on the live, put an L. We do ASL here. That's how we learn new words. If you're on the replay, put an R. And if you're getting value, please put value, because this is so important. Before we were on live, I mean, Shaughnessy's getting questions, people are cooking dinner, someone's sewing. It's real life, and I love that. Now, we're transitioning a little bit. We're trying not to do too many spoiler alerts, but you did say you've read part of The Major and the Musician, and having lived on island, can you share a little bit about how that made you feel and what resonated with you?
It just kind of like when I started reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, like instantly back there. I can smell the smells. I can hear the sounds, see the things. We lived there for 6 years. So that's literally the longest we've ever lived anywhere other than when we grew up before we joined the military. So
Yeah.
it is home for sure.
And I miss so much about it.
Oh my gosh,
My
yes.
food, the food, oh my goodness.
Food. I loved Coco's curry. I love two Coco's. I loved Coco's curry and I loved the Coco's nail salon because you got to get your pedicures and they like served you with the drink and did the nail art and it was a whole thing.
It was
So
an
I
experience. It was beautiful.
for sure, for sure. And you got to watch the ocean at the same time. Like
Right.
how much better does it get?
I completely agree with that. And what's something you do for hobbies in your busy mom journey?
That's a great question. I don't know. I love to read. And I just joined a book club, and I love to read. But I don't have time to sit and read a lot, so I do a lot of Audible books because I can do those while cooking dinner, driving, taxiing, all the things. Um, I also just love to be with my friends and family, and so connecting with my girlfriends, going out for coffee, or I'm a connector. So that's that feeds my soul. So anytime I can do that, that's a win. And working out to try and stay healthy and fit so I can chase these boys all around.
Now, I realize you're kind of transitioning into a different season with the senior year and the daughter saying college and all of this. What's the biggest challenge in that season for all of our working moms that are navigating that chapter?
I think just trusting that you've trained them up the way, like train up a child in the way they should go so they will not depart that verse. And just trusting that you've put everything to your best ability in and they're ready to fly. And that's really hard for me because I just want to hold her close and not let her go. But she is an independent, amazing young lady. She's already has 2 years of college. She'll finish with she'll graduate high school with her one class shy of her associate degree. And she's off to get her bachelor's and then on to law school. And you don't want to argue with her because you will not win. I never win an argument. It's crazy. We saw her do a mock trial in 8th grade and she was the prosecutor giving the closing arguments in a real courthouse for her final. And we were like, yep, this is what you were meant to do.
What insane. A blessing. What a challenge and a blessing. That's awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And I haven't seen her since she was a little baby. So that's really encouraging.
She's amazing. And she does pageants and she was Miss Inland Empire and teen and in the Miss America thing. And she's very well poised. So she is everything I prayed for. I literally, when we were in Okinawa, all the things I prayed for in a daughter, including size, weight, everything, that's who she is.
Oh, that's amazing. It looks like your other guys are getting the dinner going, getting in the shot. Yeah. I just love it. What's the biggest difference parenting a young woman compared to parenting young men?
I will say that the boys, I was very OCD, very type A perfectionist. And then my oldest son was pretty easy when he was a toddler and a baby. And then I had my second son, number 3, and he took me for a ride and I'm still holding on. And so I had to let it go, like literally let it go because I can't do it. I just couldn't. I just surrendered essentially. And so I think I love my daughter and she's such a blessing, but my boys have been a blessing that I didn't know I needed.
Ooh.
I feel like God knew I needed them. Because I always thought boy moms were special. I had one sister, or I have one sister. That's it. So I didn't grow up with boys. My husband's one of 6, 5 boys, 1 girl. God bless his mom. Um, I tapped out at 4 kids because 3 boys was enough. But they are literally just a joy. Where she's very independent, they're independent, but they love their mama, and they're always like wanting to love on me, and they're big snugglers, and
Oh, that's
I love
awesome.
that. So they dance in the kitchen with me, and they'll pull me in for like a song, and like those are the moments that I'm trying to like cherish because they're fleeting very quickly.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And you said you love homeschooling.
I do. So I was a teacher, English teacher, high school teacher, and then I homeschooled my daughter from. I think I started with her in first grade, homeschooled most of her elementary, and then again in middle, and sent her off to high school. And then my boys I've homeschooled a little bit here and there. And this last year, I went back to work as a teacher at their private school for 2 years and loved it. Worked with special needs English as a special needs English teacher. Absolutely loved it. Best job. And then God called me back home to work with my youngest, who's 10, and homeschool him. And it has been such a joy to kind of get back into that and have that extra time and make those memories with him.
That just blesses me. And that has been similar to our journey. We were in brick and mortar. Now we're back charter school and home. And I love how, I don't know if you guys caught that, God's calling with the ebb and flow. I love that. That's
100%.
beautiful. Yeah.
100%.
Now, I realize that just because we're believers, life isn't perfect. We have challenges.
Yeah.
I know you have suffered your share of losses. Would you like to talk a little bit about resilience after loss?
So I think my first big experience with loss was probably when we were in Okinawa. My husband and I had just come out of a dark season in our marriage, and he found the Lord. And then we were kind of all rainbows and got pregnant with our first child, and he deployed. And when I was 18 weeks pregnant, I was literally on the way, stopping at the hospital to get my ultrasound on the way to women's Bible study, and found out that the baby didn't have a heartbeat, and they were ready to take the baby. And I just kind of had to stop for a moment and just process that, and went home, and literally within 20 minutes, that whole women's Bible study was in my house praying for me in my living room. And God just surrounded me with people, even when my husband he couldn't come home from his deployment. So walking through that, and God gave me so much peace during that time and that season, that even though we lost the child, it was such a blessing, because that child literally not only ministered to me and my husband, but to other believers that had experienced loss. And I even had a friend that was not a believer at the time, watched me walk through that with the peace that God gave me. She came to the Lord, got baptized, and is now a believer. So that baby's life had meaning. And so walking through that loss was worth it. Like, God calls us, he doesn't call us to an easy life. He calls us to try and have a faithful life. So just, that was probably my first big time with loss. And then, we've lost, I lost my dad right after we moved back to Spokane, within a couple months, literally out of nowhere. That was kind of tough. And then, and really hard for my kids. And then in January, that was only 2 years ago. And then in January, we lost my father-in-law, and that was tough. So we've just kind of been navigating through a lot of loss lately, but enjoying the fact that God has just been faithful and provided us the right people and family and the community that we needed.
That is powerful. And I watched you walk through some of that, and that was so powerful, because it wasn't just Oh, I had a miscarriage. It was, oh, don't conceive for this amount of time.
Yeah, we couldn't conceive for 6 months after I lost that baby. And it was a partial molar pregnancy, which can be precancerous. So they want to make sure that you don't get cancer. And it's a very, very, very small, I forget the number now, but it's a very small percentage of people that it happens to. But you are more likely to have that happen again. And so I am just so thankful that we had three healthy children literally one after another every 2 years.
Right.
But God took that loss and just turned it into just an amazing beauty. I mean, days are tough. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not all roses in my house. I have 3 crazy rambunctious boys and a daughter. And my husband, and even though he's not in the military, his post job, he's an senior operations manager for Amazon. So he works crazy hours, especially now, as you can imagine. So
yes.
we still, he works swing shift. So it's me as soon as the kids get home all night. But God just comes in and fills your cup, essentially.
Beautiful. And I really love how you talk about that. Just enough light for the step we're on, and just keep one step after the other. That's really beautiful. So I know that our tribe is wanting to know how they can follow your journey and reach out. Do you have a social media or anything that you're active on?
So I do. I have, I'm active on my social media. I think I'm on Facebook. It's just Shanessey Owens, and Instagram, same. And then I think you'll post my email, right?
Yeah. When we repost, yeah.
Yep. I have my email. But yeah, I'm active. I'm in there. I'm an open book. Literally what you see is kind of what you get. There are no secrets, no hidden whatever. Life is messy. It's very messy in my house. If I would turn my screen, you would see the kitchen is a mess right now. There is no pretense here. Like, it's all real. So, but one step at a time.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you for being such a blessing in my own life. And I know you're blessing others as well.
Thanks, friend.
Oh, I look forward to us having a reunion on island.
Me too. I still want to go back.
Let's set it up. 2026.
100%. I'm trying. I literally was telling Aaron this morning, I'm like, hey, I think we should get passports in January. Just try to get the kids going again. So it's on my list.
Oh, be blessed, my friend. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Guys, give it up for Shanessey in the comments. Warriors, I am so proud of you. You are here for such a time as this. And I know this is a busy season. And I love that you take the time to support others, and know that if you have suffered loss, that you are called. This is not the end of your story, and higher power has the final say. I'm Bren Harris with The Warrior Nation, your source for truth, transparency, and trust. Warriors, unite.